But tonight you brought it up, Martin. Let's get to it. Let's hear Greg Popovich, the legendary coach of the San Antonio Spurs, who is now coaching, as you said, what some are calling the best prospect in American pro sports history, Victor Wembanyama. Here is Popovich.
More than O's and X's to begin with, we'll be most interested in setting a framework and an environment where he's comfortable, where he can be Victor. He's not LeBron or Tim or Kobe or anybody else. He's Victor, and that's who we want him to be.
All right, Martin, you can have first stab at it. What are your expectations this year? And we'll maybe get to the career as well, but what are your expectations for Victor Wembanyama?
See, I think he'll be, I'm thinking coming out the gate somewhere more than 15 points a game, less than 20, more than 10 rebounds a game, less than 13, like around that area. So I'll say like 17 and 12. And I think that people are going to be vastly disappointed in it. And honestly, in part because of the reason of so much hype, like you said, you got newsbreakers saying that he's the best prospect in American sports history. Like, when you say things like that, the idea that this guy is going to just come out and have a regular rookie year, that would be a massive disappointment in terms of the expectations set. If he comes out and averages 18 and a half and 12, it'd be one of the best rookie campaigns of all time, right? But I don't know. Really, my takeaway from the last two.
People feel like I hear you. I'm thinking 20 points, roughly, maybe a little more. 8 or 9 rebounds, 2 to 3 blocks, which obviously would be a great rookie season. So what are you, because I think if he does that and he looks like he shows us the promise of, oh, yeah, he's the truth and everybody was right, I think people will be cool with that, even if it is 18 and 12, as you said. But what do you think people are expecting? I mean,
Chris, when you talk about this guy is supposed to be the greatest prospect since LeBron James, well, I get that there's people that have and honestly, over the last 4 days, I can immediately see how the whole split 20 years down the line of LeBron, people who will never accept LeBron as, I get it after watching this and the whole Victor Wembanyama conversation.
Are you saying that, Jordan is widely regarded as the GOAT, but I've admitted that it's very possible, maybe even likely, that in 15 years when the people your age and even younger are controlling the conversation, that LeBron is regarded as the GOAT. But you're saying LeBron may not even get that little moment in the sun because it might just be Wembanyama?
Well, no, what I'm saying is LeBron James walked in the NBA, and after year 2 has averaged 27, 7, and 7 until year 21. Right? He walked in to the NBA against Sacramento and had 20 points in game 1 and never really looked
27.
Back.
I was there. I believe it was 27, 9, and 7 or something like that.
27. So it's like 27, 9, and 7. He walked into the league and was ready to go. Man. No stop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Full go, no stop. It's completely unfair to me to see this guy who's got the body we've never seen before, right, in terms of his frame and what we say his ability is, to expect him to come out and say, you know what? He's going to make 10 of the next 20 conference finals in his conference, because that's what LeBron did. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy to me. So, and I don't think necessarily in terms of the way that I don't believe he's got the polished offensive game to walk in the NBA and create 7 to 8 buckets for himself every night right now. He's going to get rebounds. He'll get his putback dunks. No run plays for him. But I'm wondering how many times when the rubber meets the road, late shot clock situation, you're passing the ball to Victor Wembanyama to get a move off. We've seen it in France.
I feel you.
We got to see it with the next level of athleticism that we see in the NBA.
Right. LeBron didn't have the polished game yet either. Now, he did have the athleticism in the body, but he wasn't much of a shooter when he came in the league. And like you said, he's the only player ever to step into the NBA straight from high school and be great right away. He wasn't obviously what he became, but he averaged 21 points a game as a rookie. However, he didn't lead his team to the playoffs until his third season. And so I do think Wembanyama can, look, he's not a great outside shooter yet. He shot 28% from three, but he does have the form where it makes it look like his jumper's going to be nice, eventually, like it'll get better. He's got a post game. He's good on the pick and roll or the pick and pop. He's got footwork down low, and he runs the floor. And to your point, just being his size, I think he'll get to the foul line, and he will get putbacks and dunks and things like that. And remember this too, Martin, because Popovich, even as he said he's not LeBron, he's not Duncan, and we all get what he meant, he's Victor. But they are giving him, rightly so, the LeBron, Duncan, Kareem, Magic, Jordan treatment in that they are building not only the team, but the culture around him. Like they're coming in and it's smart. We're building everything around him. So the offense, and Popovich is great at switching his offense and his style of play to his personnel. So right. I think he's going to put in whatever the best system is for Wembanyama. And remember, they're not a great team, certainly, maybe not even a good team at this point.
Chris,
and somebody has to score.
They were a bad team last year.
Well, but I'm saying when he gets there, we'll see if they're still a bad team. Are they mediocre, whatever. But somebody's got to score. Keldon Johnson averaged 22, for goodness sake, this year for them. So I think all of those factors, he should be around 20. But 18 and 12 and the promise, you can just see in this game that, this kid is the truth. I would be fine with that. But you're right. The expectations are so high that maybe some people look at that as a disappointment.
Because the way that we're setting it up, and not just you, but and I've seen you go on TV and say things that will get clipped, and then you'll see the Twitter conversation.
I'm going off of the converse, what people are saying.
To the point, everybody wants to go back and point and be like, oh, he's just like Kevin Durant, right? Or something like he's like a new, and Chet Holmgren before him was just like Kevin Durant. But when Kevin Durant was in college, we saw Kevin Durant at 6'10" exhibit some of the best guard skills at the level we had seen. If you go back and watch,
he didn't have the handle this kid has.
KD didn't at the time. Well, I know that he was a knockdown shooter and he was bringing the ball up the court in Texas against the highest level of American competition at that point.
He didn't face the level of competition this kid has faced.
You think?
I would argue
that Victor Wembanyama has faced higher competition than Kevin Durant did in college.
Yep. The way the international teams, they beat up on our college kids 30 years ago when we stopped sending them to the Olympics. So, you playing in a professional league overseas, not like a top one. It's not the top one, but the French league is a good one. The team that beat his team in the finals had several ex-NBA players. So he's faced better competition than Durant faced at Texas 15 years ago.
Okay, well,
I believe.
I'll give you that. I'll full disclosure,
but I'm not
haven't
saying
broken down the other
necessarily be better.
But what I was saying is we saw Kevin Durant exhibit guard skills in college, and then we was able. That was kind of easier to project. The questions about him was: is he strong enough? Is he going to be able to bench press?
That was a big question.
It wasn't the game. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing about his game. And I get that Victor Wembanyama is projecting to be a good shooter because of his form and so on. But so much of Victor feels like projection in this moment. And I'm not saying
I don't agree with that. I think the only concerns about him, now he's a little different style game than Durant. He's not the shooter Durant was, but he's not going to have to rely on his jump shot. Like I said, he can post, he can get putbacks, he can get mid-range, he can get, dunks, he can run the floor. His footwork in the post is good. I'm just saying, he can roll to the basket. Durant wasn't going to be doing that stuff. So,
all right, so
even if his jumper's
part of the
not
problem,
buttered
Chris,
yet,
this is part of the problem because if we're talking about him like he's supposed to be this guy, you show me, go back to the NBA Finals. Well, a big problem that Miami had offensively, Bam couldn't hit an 8 to 10 foot jump shot or wasn't taking. Look, he wasn't taking those jump shots to where Jokic was being left. Jokic on defense was not necessarily forced to guard Bam in the same way that the Miami was forced to guard Bam. That Miami was forced to guard Jokic on the offensive end. So
Bam's 6'9".
Okay,
this kid's half a foot taller than Bam,
and he was the 13th pick in the draft. But I'm saying he's fine. He's a fine player. But which one is it going to be? Is he going to be the most dominant pro player out there in terms of Domantas Sabonis is the top 5 center in the league, but he wasn't shooting elbow free throw line jumpers, and it's a part of the reason why the Kings didn't advance. So I
don't get what you here. Let me make this quick point. The only questions I have, and I think most people have about Wembanyama, is his frame and his health. I get it. He ain't Dirk Nowitzki yet from the outside. He's 7'5". He can shoot over anybody. He can run the floor. He's athletic. He's got a nice handle for a guy that tall for sure. He ain't just Durant wasn't going to be able to go inside. Dirk either. This guy can do that to some degree.
I get
it. He's not a finished product offensively, but you talking about him his handle shaky, his jump shot. Heck, he shot better from 3 than Scoot Henderson did this year in the G League.
Yeah, but Scoot Henderson's got athleticism out of this world, and he's got the wingspan.
This guy's 7'5" and athletic.
Hey, I'm not Chris. I've read his stats. I've seen his height. I know all of that. But all I'm saying is
he was the MVP
point across
of the
NBA
with grown men.
So point across the NBA in this current landscape. That league got full of grown men. How many guys 7'5" and better are out here being the best players on their team? How many guys 7'5" or better are in the league in general?
There's a reason. Right. There's only been a couple of 7'5" guys ever.
But here the thing is, there's a lot.
The problem with a lot of them was injuries. It wasn't their size.
So when you come in telling me that this is the best prospect of all time, I'm thinking you got to have that has to calculate into it some form or fashion. You have to be able to say, I'm predicting this guy, the best prospect of all time should be predicted to have a 15, 20-year career of success, right? So
he is.
Well,
he's not. We'll continue this. It's the odd couple. Well, I didn't really fully understand what you were saying about what you expect from Wembanyama. Yeah. Do you think he's overhyped? I get it if you think saying he's the greatest prospect in American sports history or he's going to be the best player on both sides of the floor in 3 years. I get it if you're saying that's overhyped. But you seem to be talking about him like he really ain't all that.
Chris, what I'm saying is I have no idea if he's going to be all that or not. And I think that if you can come out here and say, because of the fact that, if you can come out here and stomp on it and say he's going to be this, that, the third, I really feel like I don't know where you can base that off of. Even if
you're basing it off what the scouts are saying. You're basing it off if you've seen or read a lot about the stories of him in France. And you're basing it off, the brief times where he played in the G League, he averaged 37 points. And also the success of international players. We heard similar, now it wasn't this much, but we heard a ton of hype about Luka. And I and others was like, hey, all right, yeah, we'll see. Let's see. All we see in our highlights. Let's see what he does against American competition. Luka came over here killing folks. All right, so that's what a lot of people are basing this stuff on. I agree. I haven't gone over there to France to see him play, but listening to the people who have, all right, and what they are saying through the league, that's what people are basing everything on. And, seeing the little bit of highlights and stuff that we've seen.
I hear you. Yeah, you're right. You got Giannis, you got Luka. You've had an influx of international talent that has come up and been at the top of the league. Nikola Jokic, another one. But the thing of the matter is, these are individual instances. You say the success that they've had. Well, prior to the international influx, all the players damn near in the college in the draft were from college. They had varying degrees of success as well.
What's that got to do with this?
They also had success.
What is your thesis statement about Victor Wembanyama?
My thesis statement is this. You know what, Chris? When's the last time you bought a car? I'm in the car market right now. When's the last time you bought a car?
About a year ago.
Okay, when you bought that car, you went to the dealership and you test drove it out, right? You didn't just walk in to the Rolls Royce dealership and say, hey, you know what? That car was $65,000. You didn't just lay down $65,000 cold hard cash and walk out with the keys. You went there, you popped the hood, you took it around the block. Why? Because it's a major investment.
We got a time limit on these segments.
The point is, if you don't check out what's going on under the hood, it very well could explode on the next block.
Who hasn't done that with Wembanyama? Nobody's seen him play. What are you talking about?
4 years ago, Zion Williamson was the greatest thing since sliced bread. 4 years later, he's a trending topic on Twitter, and they can't figure out whether that's going to get traded.
Hold on. Hold on. You're making comparisons that don't make sense. First of all, Zion is all that. When he plays.
But hold on. That the play was great, Miss Lincoln.
Bruh. You about to get kicked off the Odd Couple if you don't let a brother finish. Say something.
Hey, my fault. I thought it was the hot seat.
All right, I'm just saying, bro. Both of us gonna talk here. Zion is great. Zion is everything he was advertised to be, and probably then some. To be honest, he's 27-8 and on 60% shooting. Essentially for his career, 26-7 for his career on 60%. His problem is he can't stay healthy. Now, if you tell me Wembanyama, you doubt he'll stay healthy, that's one thing. But you're sitting here acting like the brother doesn't have game, or at least game that should make people think he's going to be a superstar.
All right. So, Markelle Fultz before him, another number 1 overall pick. What was his health? Listen, all I'm saying is
Markelle Fultz. How tall is Markelle Fultz?
Hey, Alex, ring the bell. Didn't I just let him get the thing off?
Markelle Fultz?
Just saying. My whole point is,
you got to come. You know this is the Odd Couple.
My entire point is this, Chris.
Correctness.
Markelle
Fultz.
My entire point is this.
Markelle Fultz is like 6'3".
We have seen guys who got all the hype in June and July, and we've been hyping up Victor Wembanyama for the last 2 years. And all of this, we don't know until it happens. Because like you said, Zion is all that and delivered. When he's healthy. That's the biggest asterisk out. That's like asking Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play besides the big bang?
You saying he can't shoot, his offensive game is lacking, you seem to be questioning the competition he's playing. We gonna get Olden Polynesia's view on this.